Live from New York, it's Ask an Engineer.
Hey everybody, it's another fabulous Ask an Engineer. It's getting into the holiday season.
Almost over. 2013 is almost over.
I know.
Big year.
We're nearing the end, but we're still going to be awesome all the way to the last drop. To me, Lady Ada the Engineer. With me is Phil.
Hello.
On camera control. We've got some exciting stuff to show you, and hopefully you guys are at home working on wrapping up your gifts, watching, and have some engineering questions. So
yeah.
Lots of good stuff.
All right, on tonight's show, the code is Zumo, 10% off everything in the Adafruit store that's in stock. Only thing that you can't use the discount code for is gift certificates and EagleCAD software, because it's stuff like that. We're going to talk about what's on the show and tell, a couple cool projects and more. Pack the Mailbag's going to stop by. Hey, I got letters for you. Talk about some jobs that are in the Adafruit jobs board that are very interesting and exciting. Celebrating a milestone at Adafruit, we're going to talk about that. I'm going to share with you what I got Lady Ada for the holidays.
Yay, I got a present.
I'm going to show some cool photos, a couple things of Trellis, a little bit of fritzing, Adafruit Learning System, Wearable Wednesday with a new feature, cosplay, 3D Thursday, Pi Day, we're going to have new products, we're going to answer your questions, we're going to have a trivia question, all that and more on Ask an Engineer.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. All right, so paying some bills here real quick. The code is Zumo, 10% off everything in Adafruit store except for gift certificates and EagleCAD software. By the way, we're still taking Bitcoin.
That graphic looks like the value of Bitcoin right now.
The graphic is very valuable. What do you mean by that?
Look at this falling.
Oh, oh, you mean the coins are falling.
Plummeting.
Yeah, there's an interesting article in the New York Times about, I think it was the New York Times, about one of the big Bitcoin miners. It's in Iceland, so they have really cheap geothermic power.
Yeah.
And then their Arctic air cools
yeah.
the machines. So that we're getting to the point where only those type of giant setups from like really big.
So you have Scandinavian Bitcoin, spend them on Adafruit goods.
Yeah. So, anyways, I thought that was interesting. First up, the show and tell. Every single week at 9:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we have people from around the world, makers, showing their projects. This week we had a couple really cool projects. Lady Ada is going to tell you what they are while I hit the Twitters and the chats.
You hit the tweets.
Tell everybody about the discount code.
Okay, we had two people show up, so it was a cozy, very personable show and tell. First up, we had Lon, who shows up once in a while to show off his cool LED projects, including his game controller thingy, or game show controller thingy. He is making presents for people in his family and his life, and he made a really cool Hello Kitty EL hat. It's like this kind of like hat with a Hello Kitty on it, and he covered it with EL wire, and it's like pink. And Hello Kitty speaks from the heart. And if you're a big fan, you should check it out. I'm surprised it isn't already for sale at your local mall. He also showed off his really nice LED goggles. He took the goggle kit that we have in the store and hacked and modified it and like put some like copper plate on it, and it was cool. And he's giving it to his sister who works at a Ren Fair, which is totally appropriate. People at Ren Fairs should have more LEDs. Seriously, people, it's like, just because it's the 1600s doesn't mean you're somehow permitted to not have LEDs. Or is it the 1200s? When are Ren Fairs supposed to be set at?
Well, it depends. If it's fantasy, it's just an alternate.
Yeah, there's like
time.
dragons.
Like if there's dragons, there's no time period.
Speaking of dragons, Phil B. Paint Your Dragon showed up, showing off his awesome light painting rig that he worked on last month. He did such a cool job with the NeoPixel LED painter stick. Check out in the Learn System, but he also talked about how he designed it and how it works and some of the decisions he made, and it works really great. And he's got like this folding bicycle with the LED stick on it. So if you want to get into light painting, it's actually not that difficult anymore to get into like really high-res light painting. You can build it using stuff on the Adafruit shop. In a couple days, we have all the source code, and just needs a little bit of soldering and a little bit of woodwork.
Yeah.
Take some 1x2s or something, and
yeah.
just drill them together to make the stick.
And don't forget, look on the Adafruit company page. We have the event scheduled each week now. There's an update to Google Plus, the way it works, and you can do that.
Google Plus is totally different every week.
And speaking of, Lady Ada, how do people get on the show and tell?
Oh, you can go to our Google Plus page, which you should be checking out every day anyways. We post cool stuff to it. And find the post where we say comment here to get added to the show and tell. And then make a comment there and we'll add you to the circle. And then every week at 9:30 p.m. Eastern Time on Saturday, we will add you, we will invite you to the fun party that we have here at Adafruit. Bring your jammies and your projects, show them off. It's good times. We can chat about it.
All participants on the show and tell get it as seen on the show and tell sticker. That's right. We actually mail you one of these stickers.
You get a physical thing for showing up virtually.
Okay. Next up, mailbag. Pack the mailbag. Letters. We get letters. These are emails, letters, all sorts of things that people send us. We like to post them up on the site. This one is from Adrienne. I know you probably hear this a lot, but I just wanted to let you know how happy I am with the service from Adafruit. It's a real pleasure to buy things from you, not just because of great service, but the fact that you support your products very well with all the tutorials. I'm an engineer and appreciate the excellent length you've gone to ensure everything goes smoothly. I deal with a lot of companies, and frankly, you have become the first one I think of when I need my prototyping supplies. Well, thank you, Adrienne.
That's actually like the whole point of Adafruit for me. Because I used to like buy stuff from like MPJA. Not that there's anything wrong with buying stuff from MPJA. It's really great. It's like weird, cheap electronics. But you get stuff and you're like, this is a cool LCD, but like good luck getting it to work.
Yeah.
Like you're on your own, and it's cool. That's also kind of fun in its own right. I like reverse engineering. But sometimes you're like, I really just want to get this project going. I really want sensors and LCDs and microcontroller boards that are they just kind of work.
Yeah.
So I think that one of the things that we do really well here at Adafruit is not only does everything work, we usually even have tutorials for everything too. Just about everything in the shop, especially stuff that we make, all has tutorials, code, and we spend a lot of time on it.
Yeah.
That's actually kind of what I do all day. Actually, the hardware, by the way, doesn't take that long. Okay? This is like the dirty secret. People are like, oh, like I made an Arduino knockoff. And I'm like, yeah, it takes like 3 days to make an Arduino knockoff. It doesn't take that long to design hardware.
Yeah.
That's actually the easy part. Anyone can just get a couple data sheets together, just smush them, and then you got this thing going. The hard part is actually documenting it.
Yeah, it is.
And doing the firmware. That's where we have like 200 GitHub repositories of all this code. Some of the code, it takes a long time too.
Okay. Next up, a couple cool things in the Adafruit job board. The Adafruit job board has really taken off. So this is, we let people in the maker world post up their jobs, people who are either looking for work or companies that are looking for makers, and also companies. So this one is kind of neat. This is small batch assembly, and the fellow who had posted this up, I love this story. He was frustrated with the lack of options for low-cost, low-volume onshore board assembly, and he decided to start a new venture. For the last year, he's been putting it together. Now he's ready. So it's smallbatchassembly.com. It's a low-volume, no-frills electronic assembly service focused on needs of makers, educators, DIYers, research, anyone needing low-volume of surface-mount technology circuit board assembled. Very, very cool.
Don't just use interns. Get a professional to do it.
Yeah. Next up, Octopart. They are looking for an electronics part front-end developer for their electronics part search. So Octopart is a very useful service. If you're looking for BeagleBone Blacks, for instance, and you want to find out who has them worldwide, check out Octopart.
I use Find Chips, but Octopart's also really good. I only use Find Chips because it's just like muscle memory. But both of these are really good services for locating and doing cost comparisons. Like what I do a lot of now is we have to buy a lot of parts. Like if I can't get a couple thousand of something, I actually can't put it in the store.
Yeah.
So we do a lot of searching around for components and then negotiating pricing and packaging and stuff. So I use these services all the time. So I'm actually impressed that Octopart's still around. That's kind of cool.
Yeah.
I remember when they were first starting out, like 4 or 5 years ago, and I was like, wow, like this is just like it's hard business. Hard biz. It's you have to get money from people who actually just don't want to give you money, which is I think they get most of their money from references to the companies like DigiKey, Mouser, America 2, Allied, whatever.
Yeah.
And those people are usually like, well, why should they give you money? And it's like, well, you should because you should. And they actually have a bigger catalog of distributors than Find Chips, I think, as well. So it's good to look at both.
Okay.
Anyways.
Next up, celebrating a big milestone in Adafruit this week. We hit 400,000 orders. So thank you everybody out there who's placed an order at Adafruit. A fellow named John in Illinois was our 400th.
Do I have to say thank you 400,000 times?
400,000th order.
Thank you.
Yeah, we can make a Vine And you just say it, and you just say it as many times as you can in 6 seconds.
Okay, and then we'll just repeat it.
And then just put it on loop. Yeah.
Okay.
So John.
And then we can like put on YouTube like 24 hours of me saying thank you.
Yeah.
Like this 24-hour
So
YouTube.
John from Illinois ordered an Arduino starter kit, and we emailed him. We said, "Hey, can we give this to you for free? Is this all right?" And he said, "Yeah, it's fantastic." It was his first order with the company, and he's like, "I love you guys. You shipped it fast."
Yeah.
And like,
yeah, for free.
Yeah.
Did he notice that he was a $400,000 order before you emailed him?
No, I don't think people really look at that
Some
that
people
much.
don't look at the order numbers.
Yeah.
It's exciting. I remember when we started, and I was at like order like 3,000.
Yeah.
You ordered from us early on. You like ordered like 2,000 or something.
I was a very early order.
Thing is, actually, it's a little bit of a cheat. I started order 1,000.
Yeah.
I ordered number 1,000, but we had 200 orders beforehand because I sold Zox boxes through PayPal.
Yeah.
So it's all there's people who have like negative.
But before I actually met you in person, I was a customer.
That's right.
Pretty
But
weird.
a mini puff kit.
Yeah, I bought a mini puff kit.
Yeah, I wonder if there's anybody out there who has the original invoices, like the original Adafruit invoices from pre-Adafruit.com. Like I had a
I'm sure someone
PDF.
does.
I printed a PDF and I would fill it in by hand.
Yeah. Okay. Next up. We were playing around with this on Friday. This is the Double Robotics little telepresence bot, and Lady Ada was touring the factory through this. It's like basically an iPad on a stick.
It's an iPad on a self-balancing stick.
Yeah. And so we have, Adafruit is about 63 people altogether, and about 13 or so are remote around the world, and they're a very important part of the family
Phil
here.
B.
Like Phil B,
about.
Justin and Tyler, Bruce, Kevin, the list goes on. And we want them to be able to be part of the company as much as possible. We do lots of meetings and video chats. Now we have a robot that they can download into and run around. If there's an easy way for us to allow the public to take it for a spin, I'm going to try to work on that. I have to see how it works with the login and password. I think I could set one just for the day, and people could, you know.
You hear they don't like run into like the oven or something.
Yeah, well, I would set it up so they could just go into specific areas. So we'll see how that goes.
Okay.
Okay. Next up, this is part of the Manufacturing Monday series, sort of, but this is a new piece of equipment. This was
a Christmas present.
This was a holiday gift.
Or a late Hanukkah present.
Yeah. Yeah. What do you get the open source girl engineer who has everything? And because you're open source, you give it all away. What do you give someone like that? So this is
equipment.
Lady Ada's present.
Really big equipment.
Yeah. We surprised her. Here it is here. Yeah.
It's hard because it's like you wrap it up and it's just like what's in the box.
Yeah. And so here you go. Yeah, you're so surprised. So it's a Speedline NPM Momentum stencil printer, and this is what it looks like when it's operational. Lady Ada, what is a stencil printer? What is it?
Can I break the charm and actually explain why I picked this one?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
It was really a surprise.
No, I was surprised that it all worked out. So,
I was surprised. No, your gift to me actually was taking off the skin.
Yeah.
That was the present. The present was that it was unwrapped.
It's heavy.
It weighs 3,500 pounds.
Yeah.
So the stencil printer is it's a machine that uses like a pretty large stencil. It's 29 inches by 29 inches, so almost like a meter by meter. These metal stencils that are laser cut with a very fine precision laser. And it presses up against a surface mount circuit board, and then there's a squeegee. Hey, do you want to go back to the squeegee picture so I can show you the squeegee? So the stencil is actually that metal thing, that shiny metal thing on the bottom there that has these little holes cut out of it. And then there's a squeegee, and the squeegee is actually on this arm. You can see the arm. It's like right here, this thing. Looks like a blade. And it's actually just a very good squeegee. And then you put paste on the stencil, and the squeegee goes back and forth once or twice. I don't know exactly how many times. I think just once or twice. And it's extremely, extremely precise in how it does it. It can do it at probably 0.05 millimeter precision, so a couple microns. Very, very good precision, very good repeatability. And until now, we've actually been doing all the stenciling by hand. We have a machine that helps us do the alignment, but we have to still align it visually by eye, and then we squeegee by hand. And we're getting really good at it. Like we've been doing it for a long time, like 3 or 4 years now. So we're really good at squeegeeing. And the machine we've got was really good value. It was like $1,000, and it's very good. It has very good repeatability, once you have it set up. The problem is that you still like you don't want to tweak it every time. There's these knobs and it's mechanical, and it's like if the person doesn't feel like doing it, it can get out of alignment after use just because it vibrates out of alignment. Especially when you're doing stuff like 0.5 millimeter pitch, 0.4 millimeter pitch, which a lot of the stuff we're doing is now. We're starting to get to the point where we're no longer doing large SOICs or QFPs. It's like, for example, we're doing a really cool board with the very exciting NRF 51822, which everyone who's done Bluetooth Low Energy is just like, that's the greatest chip for Bluetooth Low Energy. And it's an awesome chip, but it only comes in 0.4 millimeter QFN. And that's actually too fine to hand stencil. You kind of can't do it. You can, but you have to, your pads just won't line up. It just won't be perfect. You actually need a machine to do the alignment of the stencil, and it presses it up like really hard against the stencil so there's no gaps from the stencil to the PCB, and then it squeegees perfectly so you get exactly the right amount of paste on each pad. And that's very important because our pick and place can place machines with extremely high resolution. It can easily do 0.4 millimeter precision. The problem is, even though the part is placed perfectly, the paste itself isn't perfect, and that causes bridging or cold solder joints. And it doesn't matter if you're at 0.65 millimeter pitch, which is like QFPs or SOICs. That's not a problem. But once you get to 0.5 millimeter, 0.4 millimeter, your yield starts plummeting. You'll get boards, but the amount of boards that come out that are good are a low amount. So maybe 50% to 70% yield, which kind of sucks because you're throwing away half of your components, half your parts. You can try to fix them, but again, it's really hard to hand repair 0.4 millimeter. So we're actually getting to the point where we're making so many boards that we have to keep up with our stenciler, our pick and place. The pick and place we got last April, the Samsung 42, which is like totally baller, an excellent pick and place. I totally love that pick and place. It's like the best investment we made. I kind of want another one, maybe like, eeny, meeny, miny, mo, 3, 4, 5, I don't know, put them in a row. I'll get a whole bunch of these pick and places, but you need a stenciler to feed into them. And so this stenciler is a great match. It's a Speedline NPM, really well-known, high-quality manufacturing in Framingham, Massachusetts. So that's Fireweight land, I think, or is it 718? I think it's 508. It's 508 land. And it's got really good precision. Again, we actually got a floor model that they were decommissioning, but it's completely refurbished, so it's a really good value. And it's got a full 2D inspection system. So not only is it really good at doing the stenciling, but it then does a full inspection. And it looks to make sure that there's paste on every pad, and if it isn't, it will reject the board. And that's really important because, like, if you didn't put enough paste, it doesn't have enough paste to work with, or if the paste isn't good quality.
What happens if it's rejected? Do you just put it in again, or do you?
I believe it warns you, and the user has to remove it. I mean, it shouldn't happen that often. The whole point is that it's an extra, but it should only happen maybe 1 out of 25 times. It shouldn't happen at all as long as you have good quality paste and the paste is on, and you give the machine enough paste. But if it runs out or something, and so it's got inspection. It's got a cleaner, so it'll clean itself off. It can fit like slimline stencils. It's just a really, really good machine. We just got a very good quality one. These machines run about $150,000. They're expensive.
Yeah.
They're kind of it's interesting because they're about as expensive as the pick and place, and you'd think that the stenciler wouldn't be as expensive, but the stenciler actually, it has a tougher job in some respects.
Yeah.
Because it has to align something and deal with this goopy material, and it's not like placing a part is one thing, but dealing with this weird material.
Perfection painting.
Yeah, it's not easy. I mean, it's especially the inspection system afterwards. Because what's funny is that we actually don't have an inspection system built into. A lot of that cost is the post-paste inspection. Doing a pick and place, you usually don't do inspection on the pick and place. You do inspection afterwards. It's a separate machine, which is like a $60,000 automatic optical inspection machine. But this actually does inspection of the paste on the board. But once you have a good pick and place, one of the things in process management that really helps your yield is good paste. Like that's kind of like yield issues. It's almost always paste. I find. Once you have a reasonable pick and place. Yeah,
so we're excited. This is going to be really neat, and thanks for explaining all that, Lady Ada. Now I can send a link to people when they say, what is a stenciler and why is it important?
Yeah, and we'll do a video of it.
Oh, yeah.
And it's amazing because it can take the circuit board and it aligns it like perfectly.
Yeah.
And then it puts down paste. And I mean, this machine is good enough to do 0.3 millimeter pitch component. I mean, like they sell this to cell phone manufacturers that do 0.3 millimeter pitch. Hopefully we don't have to do that. 0.4 millimeter is already like really unpleasant once you get to 0.4 millimeter because you don't have solder mask defined pads. You actually have no solder mask between the pads, which like is what usually helps you avoid bridging.
Yeah.
So you, especially when you get to 0.4, you absolutely must have a really good stencil machine that has automatic registration. And this thing does fiducial recognition and automatic registration. It lines it up perfectly.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you so much. Let's keep
It's a beautiful
moving.
thing. So I can't wait to turn it on.
Yeah. So we have a great pick and place machine, great stenciler, and great oven. We're just gonna keep building our manufacturer capabilities.
Then after this will probably be a board loader.
Board loader.
Board loader.
Yeah.
On the seashore.
Okay.
To load in the boards into the stenciler.
The code is Zumo, 10% off everything in the Adafruit store except for gift certificates and EagleCAD. Next up, John Janier took a series of photos. This was Macro Monday, and these are the calipers.
Those are my favorite calipers.
These are the best calipers in the world, and that's the photo series. Check it out on the blog and on Flickr. We also have, this just came in, this is a trellis project. Tony, our programmer here, was working on it. And then our partners, Pi Moroni in the UK, made this little demo.
Oh.
So you can see this here. This is one of their cases. And then there's the trellis up on top.
I think that's cute.
Yeah, it's super cool.
What I like here is you can see they pick different LED colors.
Yeah.
One of the things I like about the trellis design is you can pick any 3mm LEDs you want and just go to town. You want white, blue, red all together in one design, that's fine. Like, you can do it.
Yeah. Next up, Fritzing Friday, we got the 10 DOF board.
You want a DOF? 10 DOF.
So if you use Fritzing, download our parts, and you can use them in your designs. Next up, Adafruit Learning System. Big week on the Adafruit Learning System. Adafruit Learning System, the biggest selection of electronic tutorials.
I don't even know how many tutorials we have anymore. I haven't checked
hundreds and hundreds.
Hundreds.
Yeah. Okay, so
you have to figure out a way to like let people see the old one. Like, you have to click next to get to the old ones. But the old ones are just as good.
First one up is for
Repaper.
So Lady Ada, what tutorial is this?
This is a really lovely tutorial that Sean Mospultz did for us, and he works with Repaper, which apparently I spelled wrong. It should be capital R-E, paper. And they are, I think they are a subsidiary of E-Ink Holdings, which is the company that licensed and created E-Ink technology, which is what you see in basically all ebooks. And they actually made these really nice little E-Ink displays, like finally like cool little E-Ink displays, and they're graphical, so it's not just text, it's like full graphics capability. And these displays are actually really easy to interface with an Arduino and Arduino Mega, and we have some example tutorial for how to do that. This tutorial shows you how you can interface it with the Raspberry Pi and the BeagleBone Black, and you can actually like have it as a console, or you can display images and graphics and stuff. I wouldn't do animations because ePaper refreshes very slowly. That's the trade-off. You don't use power to. It doesn't need power or backlight, but the trade-off is that it takes like 200 milliseconds to refresh a page, so not good for animations. But you can use it for displaying graphics, displaying e-text, doing daylight visible displays. Thanks so much to Sean for writing this up. He's done a lot of work with Repaper to make it really cool and open source. It's like really neat that when we first started looking at these e-paper displays from Pervasive a long time ago, it was all under NDA, and we were like, we wanted to put them in the store, but we just couldn't, because it was like, we told them, like, we can't carry this stuff if it's all under NDA. This sucks. And they said, okay, well, give us like a little bit of time. We're going to work on trying to make it all open source. And they did.
Okay.
And they did. And so you should reward them by using their stuff.
Okay. Next up, another tutorial. This is an animated GIF. This is a little trinket alarm system.
Yeah, it's a cute project.
Yeah. So, Lady, do you want to talk about this?
Yeah, this
briefly?
is a project by
Mike.
Is it Mike Barella? Yeah. Sorry, I'm like, I have to remember names. Mike Barella did this project, and he actually works at a company where they have these conference rooms, but you can't see in the conference rooms. And so when people were looking for an empty one to have a meeting or a demo, they would like open the door and they would disrupt whatever meeting was going on in there. And so he's like, this sucks. And they were looking into buying like a thing that tells you if the room is occupied, and they're like $500. And he said, no way, I could build this for like $20 with a trinket. And he did. He used a trinket and our red, yellow, green, bicolor, like cool square matrix backpack. So it's I2C display. And that's what's the little X and the green square is. And then he used a permaproto just to make the wiring pretty and a PIR sensor. And so the PIR sensor you put inside the room. And so if there's anybody moving inside the room, which hopefully in meetings you're not all passed out on the floor, you're actually like talking and moving and stuff, it'll detect that and it will display a red X. And if there hasn't been any movement in the last few minutes, it'll display a green square saying it's okay for you to go in. And so you can just power this off of any wall adapter, and you can add multiple PIR sensors if you want, although usually one will cover a room. And it's just an easy way to make an occupancy detector, which is useful for sorts of stuff like a bathroom or a conference room or a lab. I remember at MIT there was labs where you'd want to, if you were doing especially like we'd have a photography lab in the basement, and there was you're doing. But back in the day, you would take film and you would develop it. They don't do this anymore. But we used to develop film, and if anybody walked in the door, you would ruin your film because you were unwrapping the film in pitch darkness. And so this would have been a really handy thing.
Yeah. Okay.
To have. I wish I'd had this back then, because
Yeah.
instead we were just like, we'd have to knock and be like, "Don't open the door! I'm doing my film thing."
Next up, this tutorial went up. This is a NeoPixel tree, and this is from Tony, and this is a Wi-Fi control LED.
You showed this on the show and tell last week.
He did, and you can watch it on the show and tell. But basically, it's just a really cool Wi-Fi enabled holiday tree.
Yes.
So
with
check it out.
NeoPixels. We had like 6 NeoPixel trees last week. That was great.
Okay. Next up, Wearable Wednesday is here. Every Wednesday, all the news that's fit to wear, all the projects that fit to wear.
Hey, I'm going to wear this project right now.
Yeah, we have a lot. Not yet. We got other stuff first.
Okay, sorry.
So a couple of things. One, don't forget, Wearable Wednesday with Becky Stern is every Wednesday at 2 p.m., except for the next 2 weeks because it's Christmas Day and New Year's Day. So we're off until we're off until January.
And cure your hangover.
Yeah. We're off until January, so you can watch any of the previous episodes and check out the blog every Wednesday for Wearable Wednesday posts.
We will still be vlogging.
Yeah. Our new series of posts it's a hit. We have cosplay stuff. So if you're really interested in costuming and cool projects that have all sorts of materials and electronics and things, makeuping, you name it, it's in there.
This one's incredible.
Yeah, Amy Ratcliffe is our writer, and all the photos and posts that we do, we like to show how people actually made it, the build process. So it's a little different than a lot of other cosplay sites because it's just all about the costume. We actually like to show and share and celebrate how they're made.
What I think is cool is that we have a lot of like how-to electronics tutorials, and as we're doing more Wearable Wednesdays, I'm starting to see people do stuff like, okay, I have LED goggles, but I don't want them to be plain. I want to like spice them up with some like costuming techniques. And so a lot of this stuff I think is really inspiring for if you want to. I mean, a lot of these things don't necessarily have electronics in them yet. A lot of these costumes they're just kind of costumes, but they could be improved with electronics. And we're gonna see if maybe we can get a lot of, as they say, cross-pollination between the cosplay people and electronics and like steampunk and cyberpunk and all these people who do creative stuff, and get them working together so that we can build cool projects that aren't. I mean, Tron costumes are cool. I like EL Tron costumes, but I think we can do a lot more than that using all the wearable technologies that we have now that are easily embeddable.
Yeah. Okay. Next up. This is a neat project that I wanted to lead into before we go to the video of the week. This is the Adafruit Learning System. What have you made? It's a new series of posts, and this one is Gemma hoop earrings from First Robotics Tournament. So people who do First Robotics, lots of young women and young men build robots together, and now they're starting to wear wearable electronics while they're doing these robot competitions. Very cool. So speaking of this week's video, Becky, do you know what this is, Lamore?
Yeah.
Can you guess? You already know. You already know.
Rings.
It is a very cool bangle bracelet. We have a couple photos and more on the Learn System, how it's made, and here is a video.
Hey everybody, I'm Becky Stern. Today I'm going to show you how to make a bangle bracelet out of NeoPixel rings, perfect for your New Year's party or just a night out on the town. The 64 color-changing LEDs are controlled by Gemma, Adafruit's tiny wearable electronics platform. To get started, line up your pixel rings face down on a gridded surface like this cutting mat. Glue on some jewelry findings to make it easier to link the rings together. Check out the link in the description for a complete list of parts and where to find them. The pixel rings are linked together with jump rings, and the small stranded wires we need to connect the circuit can route through them as well. To close a jump ring, use 2 pairs of pliers to twist the wire ends until they meet up. The power source is this tiny li-poly battery, to which we've soldered a small switch. Add a magnetic clasp to make it easy to take your bracelet on and off. We also added a little more E6000 craft glue to protect the solder joints in case one of the wires ever gets snagged. Grab the code for this waveform animation in the guide on the Adafruit Learning System. You can easily change the color, or even load up a completely different sketch, say to light up in reaction to changes in temperature. We can't wait to see your electronic jewelry and the weekly show and tell on Google+, and subscribe for more weekly wearables from Adafruit.
Okay.
All right.
And you're wearing it.
I'm wearing it.
Let's do this.
Okay. Yeah, it's hard to see because it's so bright in here, but
Yeah. Let's go to the new and improved overhead. By the way, for longtime viewers of the Adafruit Ask an Engineer show, the webcam hack software that I use for this finally has a update, so I can have manual focus.
Yeah.
Yay!
Yay! Oh wait, sorry.
You wanna? Yeah.
Yeah. You have to wait a second, but yeah, here's the kind of a teal color.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's a fun little bracelet with multiple neopixel rings. We're gonna put it in the 12 LED neopixel rings in shortly, and so we will have smaller rings if you want even smaller rings, and you want like 4,
Okay.
6 or 5 or 6 of them instead of 4 larger ones. These are kind of fun.
Yeah. Cool stuff. Okay, next up, 3D Thursday. All the news that's fit to print in 3D. Couple of cool things on the blog this week, and a video that we're going to show in a second. This is 3D printed nails. This took over the internet. No, it took over the internet. It was everywhere. So this is probably the future. You will probably see people with 3D printed nails. Next up, this is a really cool 3D printed project that uses a lot of Adafruit stuff. So it's a solar speaker system.
Yeah, it uses
cool.
the solar. I think it uses our solar LiPo charger.
Yeah.
Our really nice 4-ohm speakers that have the mounting holes. I can tell because most speakers don't. These, the ones we have do, because I hate not having mounting holes.
Yeah.
So you can see them mounted, and then there's a little a volume pot and a power thing. So yeah, this is a really cool project.
And then next up, this, and I'll talk a little bit about it before we go to the video. This is a little GIF of the project. But this helps solve the problem that we have in the Lady Ada household. So Lady Ada plays video games. She loves video games. And
you like to sleep.
I have to wake, well, I have to wake up 3 in the morning, 4 in the morning, 5 in the morning a lot of times. And so I try to crash out a little early.
I'm a night owl. I don't do this.
So by the way, I am a night owl. I love to stay up late, but I have to help you run an Adafruit, which requires me to be up like before dawn. So
yeah, you wake up before dawn, but I stay up late.
You stay up late.
EDID hacking,
Yeah,
which is all I've been doing for 4 days. So I can like rattle off EDID checksums off the top of my head, which sucks.
So we figure, because like, we're very motivated, we want everything to work out. And it's like, I like that Lady Ada plays video games. It's cool. I don't play video games.
I bought all these video games. I want to play them. I get through like 10%, and then it's like I have to do something, and then I'm really busy.
So when I'm crashing out,
having
the TV on and also noise, I wouldn't be able to sleep.
No.
So Lady Ada and Noelle and Pedro teamed up, and they made this really cool project. So let's show the video.
Fine afterwards.
Yeah, we can show the video now.
Show the video.
Ever find yourself playing games, but your partner just wants to sleep? 3D print your own controller display mount for a personal gaming session without the big screen, using Adafruit's 7-inch HD display. Our 3-piece design is available on Thingiverse. You can get the tools for this project on Adafruit's shop. The 7-inch HD monitor features an adjustable stand that can be easily removed. We'll reuse the adjustable parts for our 3D printed mount. You can use Tinkercad to modify the paths to design your own controller mount. Check out our guide on Adafruit's Learning System for a complete tutorial. Make sure your build plate is ready and leveled before printing. Our design takes about a half an hour to print. Drill the screws into the clips and then into the base of the mount. We need to remove the top 2 screws on the back of our controller. Attach the controller to the mount. Place the bottom in first and snap the top for a tight fit. Use 2 screws to secure the clips to the bottom of the controller. Position the mount into place and tighten the adjustment screw. This simple design is non-intrusive when gaming. For audio output, you can plug your headset into the controller. What awesome mount will you make for your display? Let us know in the comments below.
And there it is. Okay, so you
Sorry,
want
just playing some games.
Yeah.
So this is my version. And yeah, it's a really nice 7-inch IPS display. So it's IPS, so it looks really good. And you can adjust the brightness and contrast and stuff. I don't have it on right now because my Xbox is at home. And then I use the standard wireless Xbox controller.
Yeah.
And then you just need a HDMI cable and a power cable. I use like a slim HDMI cable, like noodle cables.
Yeah.
So it doesn't tug on this at all. And then I can play for like 3 or 4 hours. I mean, you shouldn't play 3 or 4 hours in a row without taking a break anyways. But my wrists don't hurt.
Yeah.
You know, and it's not that heavy.
Yeah.
The cable's pretty light, and then I can just adjust the screen
You
angle.
use headphones, that works.
Yeah, I plug in my headphones because I don't want it to be loud on you, so I plug them into the back of the AV port on the Xbox. So I can play games, and the resolution is really nice. It's nicer than a lot of TVs, like 720p.
And it's close, so it's as if
close,
you have one of the biggest TVs
so
ever.
I play like this far,
Yeah.
and that's pretty good. Yeah, it looks like a gigantic TV, and yeah, and then when I'm done, I just like pause it and put it away, and then it's kind of fun project.
Okay.
And it's easy. It's like if you have a 3D printer, you can print this out, and then just adapt it. I mean, like I don't have a PlayStation or 3 or 4, but if you do, it's pretty easy to adapt the clips. Like these clips screw onto the back, and you can just adapt it to screw onto the back of whatever controller you have.
Yeah.
This is just Xbox.
Yeah, this is kind of a classic project that I like. That there was an issue, and you solved it creatively through technology and 3D printing, and the files are up on Thingiverse.
This is exactly what 3D printing is for, because you have to create a mount on something that clips. It has to be like a plastic, because laser cutting wouldn't work.
Yeah.
Because you have to have it be a 3-dimensional shape to go around and clip on. It has to be a little bit flexible, and acrylic would crack because it would have no give.
We were getting coffee before the show, and Lady Ada had that in her hand, and the guy said, "You should patent that." He actually looked at it and he was like, "Oh my God, that's such a good idea. You should patent that." Little did he know, we don't do that. We give it all away.
Thingiverse.
So okay.
Creative Commons. So anyways, print this out, and especially if you adapt this for other controllers, post it out, because I think this is like a really fun idea, and it's totally like saving our sleep habits.
Yeah.
I can play games till 11 o'clock and doesn't disturb Mr. Lady Ada here.
Yeah. Well, I just have to try to get some sleep because it's been an intense.
Yeah, Christmas is always. It's interesting.
Yeah.
Christmas is always kind of intense, and like you deal with it by sleeping or trying to sleep, and I deal with it by like I gotta go home and like drive some fast cars. Or
I just need like a solid 5 hours because I just need a lot from dealing with customers, and we have a big team now. And
save the princess.
And you need downtime.
Yeah.
Because you're doing a lot of intense engineering. So okay, let's keep moving on. Next up, Pi Day. All the news that's fit to Pi.
Let's Pi up.
Well, I had a couple things that I wanted to show. So the first thing is someone made this little tiny micro Raspberry Pi using our new screen.
Yeah.
So this is like the smallest possible portable Raspberry Pi. And then this is kind of, it's not out yet, don't ask, but we posted it up. Lady Ada and Phil B are working on a Raspberry Pi camera.
An open source Linux camera.
Yeah.
With a little display, a touchscreen display in the back. I think it'll be great.
Yeah. Okay, so that was Pi Day. And I wanted to just show those things. So we're going to do new products now. Before we do new products, the code is ZUMO. 10% off everything in Adafruit store except for gift certificates and EagleCAD.
All non-virtual goods.
It is new product time. Okay.
What's first?
So, what's first is we have a brand new video for one of our products, Bluefruit EasyLink.
Oh, that's right.
And this is a world premiere.
Okay.
So here it is. It's gonna be fun.
Let's see this video. I'm in it. Hey everybody, it's me, Lady Ada, here to tell you all about the Adafruit Bluefruit modules, the best way to add Bluetooth to your project. The Bluefruit EasyLink comes in 2 flavors. We've got a larger Arduino Shield form factor, as well as a small general purpose breakout. The EasyLink module is a wireless Bluetooth drop-in replacement for an FTDI cable or FTDI friend. It's got a connection LED and 2 RX and TX LED indicators. There's a standard FTDI connector at the bottom as well. Solder on standard male headers and plug it directly into a breadboard. Or solder in the female header so you can wirelessly reprogram your Arduino compatible. You can also connect an external battery to your project using the optional JST connector on the back. The EasyLink Arduino Shield form factor is great when you want to reprogram or communicate with an Arduino Uno or Mega. There's a reset button and a pairing button. The Bluetooth EasyLink modules in the middle. We also have connection, RX and TX indicator LEDs, as well as a switch so you can either direct program or software serial connect. There's also a large prototyping area over here. You can also solder stacking headers onto the Arduino Shield. Since the EasyLink only uses the serial pins, you can stack any kind of Arduino Shield on top. The Adafruit Bluefruit uses Bluetooth Classic technology. We use Bluetooth Classic because it is the most popular way to wirelessly connect devices. The first thing you'll want to do once you get your EasyLink is to pair it to your computer. You can pair with any operating system or Android tablet. Once paired, the computer will create a wireless COM port link. This serial link lets you send data from the computer to the Arduino and back again. This lets you wirelessly communicate and program the Arduino up to 10 meters away. Using the Bluefruit EasyLink is really easy. We've also got great tutorials on learn.adafruit.com. You can learn how to test your module, pair it, and also program an Arduino wirelessly. All Adafruit Bluefruit modules are designed, programmed, engineered, manufactured, and shipped out of our Adafruit warehouse here in downtown Manhattan. So if you want to cut the cords on your project, check out the Bluefruit at the Adafruit shop at adafruit.com.
Oh no.
Oh,
okay, sorry.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Audio off.
Okay, sorry for the folks yeah, it's one of those nights. Let me.
Let's start from the beginning.
Yeah, so we'll edit that in post.
Okay.
Yeah,
Jump
new
into the
product.
New product.
Yeah, this is it.
I'm going to talk about how cool this is again.
Yeah, this is from Little Bits, and this is a synth.
This is so cool.
Yeah, all right.
So this is Little Bits, which you guys know as iBadir's open source hardware company that does these little snap together electronic component things. And she's been doing this for a couple of years now, and she always had like potentiometers and op amps and like basic electronic components, LEDs that you put together, like sensors and stuff. It can drive motors or light up things or EL wire. But then what's really cool is I guess somebody there, either at Little Bits or Korg, said, hey, you know, like, we could really like build a modular synth using this kind of technology. And so they did. So Korg, which is really well known for their awesome analog synths, built a pretty much all analog modular synth kit using Little Bits. And we only have like 10 in the store, so they're all gone. But we're going to get more soon. This is very, very popular, very cool. It comes with a lot of really cool bits. I'll read them off and then I'll show them on the overhead. It comes with a power jack and a 9-volt battery so you can portably power it. A keyboard with an adjustable octave. A little sequencer, a 4-note sequencer. So it's like only 4 notes, but you can do like basic like drum beats and stuff in the background. 2 oscillators, voltage-controlled oscillators, which take from the sequencer or the keyboard. A filter, and the filter has.
Can we go to the overhead now?
Oh no, I'll talk about the filter detail. A mixer, a 2-way mixer, an envelope control, a random control, so if you can add like noise or like random effects, a delay board, a splitter, so you can split, out and then mix back in, and then a little speaker. The speaker is really cute too. So yeah, I can show these more in detail on the overhead.
Okay, let's go to the overhead.
Okay, so here is like the keyboard, and so for example, you can have the power brick here connected to the keyboard, and then the keyboard can connect to an oscillator, and the oscillator has a pitch adjuster, and then you can connect it to the speaker, and then turn it on. Okay.
Lady Ada jamming out.
And then you can have it in press mode. And you can change your tuning, square or saw wave, so that's kind of nice. There's also this really cute little sequencer, so let's flip this instead of the keyboard. So you can change the speed. There's also tons more parts. There's like an envelope, so you can put this after, I think, the pitch. And let's try that. And you can do attack and delay. So you can get like pitch, attack, delay. There's also a filter.
Yeah.
So you can do your cutoff and peak. Oh yeah,
Sounds
we're getting
good.
acid now. Anyways, it's all good times. There's this little speaker. We're actually using this other speaker, but it just sounds really cool. And like I only showed like 2 or 3 of the modules. There's a delay with time and feedback. There's a random mode. There's a mixer. There's another oscillator, so you can have like 2 oscillators. You can use the keyboard and the sequencer at once, I guess, and you could probably have a sequencer in the background for like sort of like a drum beat, and then in the foreground you could use the keyboard to do like the melody. But it's like real synth. It's not like a toy thing. I mean, it's a toy, but it's also you can get really good quality audio out of it. It's, I think, almost all analog. I think only the sequencer is digital because you kind of have to do that digitally.
Okay.
But everything else is all analog, and it's super fun. And you can like put it together on your desk. You can build it into a casing if you want. I think it's gonna be like a really popular. It's probably gonna be the most popular little bits.
Yeah, I think we sold out right away.
Yeah, it's also actually a pretty good deal. Like, so if you were to build a modular, don't get me wrong, nothing wrong with modular modules. Like, you want to be a dope for a person, that's cool. But they're really expensive. Like, it's very easy to drop a couple $1,000s on a modular synth. It's totally worth it. It's lots of fun. They look great in a rack. Love banana cables, but this is like $150. It's a really easy way to start building your own synth, and you can get the components separately too if you want to expand your synth to add like more oscillators or voices or keyboards or whatever. Yeah. So yeah.
Okay.
It's cool.
We're running a little tight on time, so I'm gonna go into overdrive here.
Okay. Well, that was the longest. That was the demo. That takes a long time.
So next up, we're taking signups for the Arduino Galileo. They're gonna go fast, and if you sign up, you'll get one as soon as the notification comes out, so do sign up. It's in the new products section. Now, next up, we got a new mat from
Yeah, this is a cool mat. So this is a magnetic mat. So when you take stuff apart and you have little screws, they'll actually stick to the mat. And it comes with a nice pen as well. We used to carry the non-pro version. The non-pro version was discontinued. So we just have the pro version. Pro version is basically the same. It's got the magnetic mat. It's the same kind of material as, if you've ever made like fridge magnets, like kitchen magnets, the soft flexi magnet. It's a sheet of that overlaid with vinyl with like this grid on it, and then there's a foam backing, and it comes with this nice pen. It's a great gift, also a great tool. Having one on your desk, it'll save you from like losing a little spring or something you're taking apart your digital camera.
Okay.
Very handy.
Next up, we have one of these things.
This is
SHT 15.
It is a high quality humidity sensor. We have some other basic humidity sensors. This one's just a really good quality one. We also have one that's like a soil sensor that's very similar. This one's just on a breakout. We used to have the SHT 11. I think this one's a little bit higher quality, if I recall correctly. Yeah, check it out in the store. Okay. Easy to use. We even have a code for it.
Yeah, next up, we're going to start at these, and then we're going to go to the last one.
Diodes.
Yeah, diodes. We got
Who doesn't love them? These
a pack
are
of 10.
1N4818 standard, compatible with the 1N419. Sorry, 914. Single diodes, like 200 milliwatt, whatever. Good for fast switching. Not for power supplies, but good for any other kind of analog or digital diode requirements.
Yeah, so we got diodes.
Diodes.
Okay, and last but not least, one of my favorite products of the year. It's a little Zuma. This is a code. Zumo. It's a little bot. It's a little Arduino bot. Like it's almost about the same size as the Arduino. It's so cool.
Yeah, I like this. This is a
from Pololu.
This is a product from Pololu, and it's fully assembled. And I will show them the overhead. And we actually got these recently, so we'll hopefully do a cool project.
By the way, that pattern that you're seeing on there, that's our Adafruit gift certificate. If you were looking for last-minute gifts, you can download and print that out. But here's the bot.
Yeah, this is a great little bot. I mean, like this is a custom plastic casing you can see, and then there's like a little battery holder, and so they custom injection molded this, and this is really nice. It's got 6 reflectance sensors on the bottom here. You can sort of see them. So you can do line following really easily. It's got these also custom made molded wheels and treads, and so it can do 0. What's the word for rotation? It can rotate in place. There's some word for it. On-off sensors. You plug an Arduino. It's a shield basically. So you plug an Arduino onto it upside down. It's got a compass accelerometer. Yeah, compass accelerometer, no gyro, I believe. Buzzer, power supply, motor drivers. It's pretty much everything you need to make a little robot. I think it's a really good value. It's super easy. It's got Arduino code. So yeah, and I like how it has a boost converter. So it runs off of 4 AA batteries instead of like making you need like 6 or 8.
Yeah. Okay.
It's a cute little bot. I think if you're going to have a little bot, this is a good one.
And with that, that was new products.
Okay, I did it.
Thank you, lady. Good work.
You're
okay,
welcome.
So real quick, the code is Zumo, 10% off everything in Adafruit store that is in stock, except for gift certificates and EagleCAD software. By the way, we sell EagleCAD now. We have the hobbyist license, standard, professional, and it was a little bit of an experiment for us. Selling software is a new thing for us, and boy, it's worked out really well. So EagleCAD is really happy with it. Our customers are really happy with it.
Nothing wrong with using the freeware version, but if you, especially if you're using it for any kind of commercial purposes, the moment we started selling kits, we bought a real Eagle license back when I think it was like 3.0 or 4.0.
Okay.
So you should do so too. It's a good thing.
We're going to answer questions now for as many as we can before the end of the show. So
okay, I'll put on this bangle bracelet.
Type up your engineering questions for Lady Ada. I had some ones that are back here before.
Okay.
What's the best way to power an Arduino when working on a project that draws power from 120 volts AC? I'm trying to stay away from battery power.
If you're going to control something that's 140 volts AC, you should use a power switch tail, and then you can plug the Arduino into like a power splitter. You get one of those like 3 outlet splitters things. That's a good idea. So you don't want to power your Arduino off of a handmade 120 volt to 5 volt converter. I mean, you can do it, but I wouldn't.
Yeah.
Just use a power.
Someone pointed out that the Leonardo is a really good choice for the Zumo because it has more room for jumpers and such.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a mount.
Zumo.
You can use either for this.
Where did you get the name Adafruit for the company?
It's just from Lady Ada. I wanted to have a fruity company.
Yeah. Also, when you guys are thinking of starting companies, if you have something that is a very unique name, you're
there's
more Googleable.
Nothing else has the name, which is really good.
Have you made a color sensor work with the Trinket?
Not yet. We have not. But if somebody does, let us know. You should be able to port it pretty easily. We just haven't done it ourselves.
Next up, I've been looking at a lot of I2C devices using several of the same device. Have you looked at doing I2C Mux Breakout?
We looked at one, but it's not as easy to use as I think people would like it to be. And so, you know, in those cases, you should try to find a sensor. Most of the sensors we have are I2C and SPI. So you try to use the SPI version so you can have multiple ones, because then you'll use one extra pin for each extra.
Next up, what is a reflective sensor?
A reflective sensor bounces light off of the floor for this like Zumobot, and it can detect white or black lines, so it's good for line following robots. Or when you have to stay within a boundary, usually the boundary is like a black line on the floor, duct tape, so it won't go past the boundary.
Someone says, I wish there was a live 24/7 Arduino group discussion. Well, there is the Arduino forums, which there's so many posts there on arduino.cc that it's almost real time. The other thing is you can always hang out in the Adafruit chat. There's folks that are there throughout the week that just hang out. But you could probably also start one. Real-time chat's interesting because not a lot of people use IRC anymore, and real-time chat services and software don't seem to be popular with people. The most popular things that we've seen is people like Hangouts online, so video chats. People like publicly available technical support in forums.
Yeah.
That way they can search for everything that everyone's always...
Live chat tech support doesn't work quite well because you need time to go and try multiple things and report back. It doesn't make sense to try to do it live because oftentimes you have to sit down and like spend time with it, and then a day later you're like, oh, okay, I tried a couple different things and this is what happened. Yeah.
Question, can you produce this? So they posted up a link of a motor shield for Raspberry Pi. Send us a note to support@adafruit.com. We'll check it out. That's the easiest way.
I don't know.
We'll take a look at it later. The next question, someone said, oh, the name Lady Ada, where did that come from?
That's a secret.
That's a secret. All right. Well, I think you recently did an interview on the Google, it was a week of code.
Yeah.
And they asked you that question. So watch that video. It's a link to it on the blog.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that was kind of
Are there any extra engineering questions, or is it just name questions?
No, there was some, how do you go about programming Bluetooth audio and data transmission to Android?
I think Android probably has hooks into the Bluetooth API. I mean, like I'm assuming it's built on Blues or something. So there's probably a core support for it. There's different profiles. Each profile is going to be a little bit different. So audio is probably handled internally just because it's so common for Android devices to do Bluetooth audio. And then SPP is usually, I think, with Blues just shows up at the COM port. Okay. And then anything else you kind of you might have to do something custom for it. But there's some sort of hook inside the operating system for handling that. I know iOS does.
Yeah.
Especially with Bluetooth Low Energy, they have a full, API just for handling every kind of profile.
Next up, are there any more shows? Ask an Engineer for the rest of the year. Yes, there's going to be
one more.
Every Saturday until the end of the year. Yeah, probably going to take a little bit of time off in January, but that's the only thing coming up.
Do you want to take a couple shows off?
No, I don't know. Maybe we'll figure it out. Next up, the Galileo pricing for us. Yes, we put it at $99, and there are other sites that put it at under like $65 or something. The cost of the board, if we buy them,
I think for us the cost was like $70 or $80.
The cost is like $70. So folks can sell it at cost if they want.
I think other companies might be getting subsidized pricing.
Yeah, they might. We're going to sell them at as low as price as we can.
I'm like, wow, you're selling it for less than what we buy it from Arduino. So I don't know. Maybe they're cool with losing money. We should buy from them.
Yeah, sure. Any forums or videos done in the past with 16-bit ADC use?
We have a 16-bit ADC in the store. Check it out. We have a tutorial on it.
Okay. Here's a request. Can you put a touchscreen protector on your 4.3-inch touchscreens? Oh, like on top of it. A touchscreen protector.
Any kind of resistive touchscreen protector, yes, you can.
Okay.
Okay, 11.
All right.
Do a quiz question?
Yeah, we're gonna do a quiz question. Oh, you know what? Someone just mentioned the MIT App Inventor 2 just came out. That's a good way to do Android programming. By the way, we posted it on the blog.
I don't know if it does Bluetooth.
I don't know either, but but if you want to get, it's like Scratch for like mobile development. It's really cool.
Okay, check it out. I don't know if it does Bluetooth support though.
Yeah. Okay. Very cool. It is now time to give something away. We're going to give away something very nice. It's trivia question time, everybody.
Okay.
We're going to give away one of the mats.
Okay. This mat?
Yeah. Yeah.
I will get this mat.
Oh, I skipped one new product. We have
You skipped 3 new products.
Did I?
Yeah.
Yeah, I just ran out of time. I'm sorry. Which one? What did I skip?
The Leo.
Oh, yeah. We'll add those next week.
Yeah, we'll do it next week.
Yeah. We have a book that just came in at the last second, so.
Okay, you get this cool iFixit mat.
Yeah.
Very handy. Pro. It's really heavy.
Yeah.
It's dense.
So I'm going to make it very easy. First person that I see that types in the chat here, and I'm looking at two different chats, the one on YouTube and the one on IRC wins. This is going to be a really simple one. What company makes this?
I just said it.
I know, you just said it.
Were you paying attention?
Yeah.
You should have told me that was going to be the quiz question.
It's okay. So first person to type in the name of the company who makes this wonderful magnetic project mat wins it. Let's see. The winner will be...
Oh, and you can't win if you were... The same rules apply.
It's not Microsoft. Oh, Yana75, congratulations. It's iFixit. You got it.
Okay, iFixit.
Yeah.
That's right. I even said it. So look, anyone who's paying attention for like 2 minutes.
Yeah.
Surprise.
Magnets are us. That's not it. Okay, so email us at support@adafruit.com and you win it, Yana75. Okay. That was the show. Everyone, don't forget the code is ZUMO. 10% off everything in the Adafruit store except for
software,
EagleCAD, and gift certificates.
Software.
Don't forget, we still take Bitcoins. If you've got Bitcoins, get rid of them now.
Spend
them on electronics.
Yeah. Well, you still can.
Trust me on this. Yeah. There's some people who really made out that when Bitcoin was over 1,000, they bought a lot of stuff.
There's some people when it was like 1,100, they peaked that they bought a bunch of stuff. I think they knew.
Yeah.
It's the fastest way to get rid of your Bitcoins. If you don't want to wait to do the exchange, you can do the exchange at Adafruit.
Yeah. Special thanks to everyone on the Adafruit team. Special thanks to everyone who's from Adafruit in the chat helping out tonight. I think there was Phil, Becky, and George. Special thanks to all of our community and customers. You got us to 400,000 orders. Thank you so much, everybody. Special thanks to all the folks out there participating on Twitter and chats and everything. We do the show every single week, 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, Saturday night. Ask an Engineer, the longest running live electronics show in the world.
Yeah, that's probably true.
No, it is true. It's absolutely true.
We've probably done like 300 shows by now?
Yeah, 4 years worth. Over 4 years worth, yeah.
200 shows.
Yeah. Okay. We'll see everybody next week. Here's a picture of MOSFET. Meow, meow, meow.
Yeah, he's waiting for us.
And here is your moment of Zener.